A strategic economy, Malaysia. Hey everybody, welcome to Econo Exploration. Today we're going to go over Malaysia's remarkable economic transformation and resilience. Make sure to watch until the first little known fact, because it's one of the most amazing fun facts I've ever seen. And there will be 4 more little known and fun facts about Malaysia later in this video, so let's go. In the heart of Southeast Asia, there's a country that was once known for just 2 things, rubber and tin. The entire Malaysian economy was built to serve a colonial empire, totally at the mercy of global markets. Fast forward to today, and that same nation is a critical hub in the global semiconductor industry. This isn't just a story about economic growth, it's a story of incredible reinvention, a key chapter in the modern Asian economic rise. So, how did Malaysia pull it off? How did it achieve this sustainable growth, going from a colonial resource hub to a modern, diversified economy? And maybe more importantly, as this star of the Southeast Asia boom gets closer to becoming a high-income nation, can it clear the final hurdles that have stopped so many other Asian economies in their tracks? Fun fact number 1, from commodities to high-tech. Malaysia has undergone a remarkable economic transformation. At one time, Malaysia was dependent on rubber and tin. However, Malaysia is consistently ranked as one of the top 4 to 6 largest exporters of semiconductors globally. More broadly, Malaysia maintained its position as the 9th largest exporter of high-tech products globally in 2023, among 143 countries. This shift propelled it from a low-income to an upper-middle-income country within a single generation. Stay tuned for fun fact number 2. To really understand Malaysia's economic success, you have to look at where it all started. Under British rule, from the 18th to the mid-20th century, the Malayan economy was basically a giant extraction machine. It became the world's top producer of rubber and tin, feeding the industrial beast of the West. Sure, the British built infrastructure like railways and ports, but they weren't for the country's development. They were one-way arteries, designed to get commodities from the mines and plantations to the coast, and then shipped off into the network of global trade. This made the economy really good at one thing, but also incredibly fragile. Any dip in global commodity prices could send the whole system into a tailspin. This strategy also changed the face of society forever. To get workers for the mines and plantations, the British brought in huge numbers of Chinese and Indian laborers. While this created the multicultural Malaysia we know today, it also stirred up complex social issues and ethnic divides that the nation would have to deal with long after independence in 1957. The new country was left with an economy rich in resources, but weak in resilience, a society with deep inequalities, and a future that was anything but certain. Independence in 1957 wasn't a quick fix. Malaysia was immediately hit with huge problems, like widespread poverty and the ethnic tensions that had been simmering for years. This part of the economic growth story is crucial. Relying so heavily on just rubber and tin was a massive economic risk. It was obvious that to survive, let alone thrive, Malaysia needed a completely new game plan. Fun fact number 2. Malaysia plays a crucial role in the global semiconductor industry. It is the 3rd largest exporter of semiconductor devices in the world. This has attracted significant foreign direct investment. Stay tuned for fun fact number 3, and don't forget to subscribe. That new plan came in 1971 with the New Economic Policy, or NEP. This was a bold and ambitious strategy with 2 main goals: get rid of poverty for all Malaysians and restructure society so that your ethnicity doesn't determine your economic role. The aim was to build national unity by giving everyone a fairer shot, especially the Bumiputra, or indigenous Malays. This is development economics explained. At the same time, Malaysia was watching its neighbors, the 4 Asian tigers of Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan, and taking notes. Inspired by their booming success, Malaysia made a hard turn towards export-driven industrialization. The government went all out to attract foreign investment, set up free trade zones to bring in big multinational companies, and invested heavily in building a new kind of infrastructure, this time for manufacturing. The focus switched from raw materials to finished goods, especially electronics and textiles. It was a huge gamble, a deliberate choice to step away from what they knew and compete on the world stage in manufacturing. This was the moment Malaysia started laying the groundwork for the modern, diverse economy it has today. Malaysia's big strategic shift paid off, and it paid off big time. It was a mix of smart planning, a great location, and investing in its people. You can't change geography, and Malaysia's location is a massive plus. Sitting right on the Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest shipping lanes on the planet, made it a natural global trade hub. Big ports like Port Klang became key spots for moving goods, connecting Malaysia directly to the world's supply chains. Fun fact number 3, while diversifying, Malaysia still holds its own in traditional commodities. It is the world's second largest producer and exporter of palm oil, after Indonesia, and this sector remains a significant contributor to its GDP. The industry is a major employer in Malaysia, providing jobs to over 3 million people across the supply chain, including many smallholder farmers. This employment contributes to poverty reduction and rural development. Now, what makes Malaysia one of the most strategically important nations in the world? Find out more with fun fact number 4 shortly. But you can't rely on location alone. The real genius was the constant push to diversify the economy. Since the 1980s, manufacturing and services have steadily taken over from agriculture and mining as the country's main economic drivers. The star of the show has been the electrical and electronics sector, fueling a regional semiconductor boom. Malaysia cleverly found its niche and became a global force in semiconductor assembly, testing, and packaging. Today, it's estimated that Malaysia handles about 13% of the world's back-end semiconductor output, which is a huge win for its long-term strategy and a pillar of its economic success. This economic boom led to amazing social progress. From 1961 to 2023, the country's gross national income per capita shot up by an average of 7.3% every year, which also meant a major rise in purchase power parity for its people. Life expectancy jumped from only 59 years in the 1960s to over 75 today, and poverty levels dropped dramatically. Most importantly, Malaysia invested in its people. The percentage of the workforce with a university-level education went from 23% in 2010 to over 35% by 2023. This created a skilled workforce ready for the higher-value jobs the new economy was offering. It was a perfect cycle. Industrialization creates wealth, and that wealth gets reinvested in the health and education of the people, which in turn fuels more growth. That's the real engine behind Malaysia's success. After decades of incredible progress, Malaysia is now up against its toughest challenge yet, the middle-income trap. It's what happens when a country's growth slows down after hitting a certain income level, making it almost impossible to take that final step into the club of high-income nations. This is a classic problem in economics, explained by the difficulty of transitioning from resource-driven growth to innovation-led growth. Fun fact number 4. Malaysia benefits immensely from its strategic location along the world's busiest shipping lanes, particularly the Strait of Malacca. This makes it a highly trade-intensive economy, with total trade activities exceeding 130% of its GDP. Major ports like Port Klang and Tanjung Pelepas have emerged as key logistics and transshipment hubs. One more fun fact about to be revealed, so hold on. The very things that made Malaysia so successful are now starting to hold it back. The economy has been heavily reliant on foreign investment, especially in manufacturing. While that was great for getting things started, it also means the economy is vulnerable to global downturns. After years of using foreign technology, the country has been a bit slow to develop its own homegrown innovation. This skills and innovation gap is a major problem, making it tough for Malaysian industries, especially the semiconductor industry, to move up from just assembling things to designing and developing high-tech products. There are also challenges at home. Economic growth hasn't been even across the country. Big urban centers like Kuala Lumpur and Penang are flying ahead, while many rural areas are left behind with poor infrastructure and fewer opportunities. This creates inequality, which is still higher than in many developed nations. On top of that, issues with governance and corruption are still a concern, as they can scare off investors and stop money from going where it's needed most to fuel the next wave of growth. Getting out of the middle income trap isn't just about getting bigger, it's about getting smarter, more innovative, and making sure everyone comes along for the ride. Malaysia is at a major crossroads. It has a solid plan for sustainable growth, but the obstacles are very real. What do you think is the single biggest thing the Malaysia economy needs to fix to become a high-income nation? Is it boosting local innovation to combat the reliance on foreign investment in Asia, closing the gap between the rich and poor regions, or something else entirely? Let us know what you think in the comments below. But Malaysia isn't just sitting around waiting. The government has a clear, bold plan for what's next, the New Industrial Master Plan 2030, or NEMP 2030. This isn't just another policy document, it's a mission to completely transform the country's industry. The main goal is to push Malaysia into high-income status by making the economy more complex, creating better jobs, and ensuring growth is sustainable and benefits everyone. The plan involves a big shift away from industries that just need a lot of workers and towards advanced manufacturing and high-tech fields. It's all about embracing things like automation and AI, while also getting into new areas like biotechnology and renewable energy. The government is putting billions into this, with new funds to invest in key projects and help smaller businesses adopt new tech. There's a special focus on the semiconductor industry, with plans to help Malaysia move up from its current strength in assembly and testing to the more profitable world of integrated circuit design. This economic plan also comes with some important governance reforms. The government knows that trust and transparency are key, so it's also pushing anti-corruption efforts to make the country a better place to do business. The NIMP 2030 is basically a recognition that to move forward, the whole country needs to be on board. The government and the private sector working together to build a stronger, more resilient, and wealthier economy. From an economy that ran on tin and rubber to a key player in the global tech supply chain and a hub for global trade, Malaysia's journey has been an incredible economic growth story. It's a story of smart decisions and amazing resilience. Through careful planning, it turned itself into an export powerhouse, pulled millions of people out of poverty, and built a modern country. But the final chapter of this story hasn't been written yet. The country is on the edge of a major breakthrough, but it's facing the same challenges that have stopped so many others in their tracks. The middle income trap, the need for its own innovation, and ongoing issues of inequality and governance. This is the final test in the Asian economic rise for Malaysia. The plan is there, the ambition is clear. Whether Malaysia can pull it off and finally reach its goal of becoming a high-income nation with sustainable growth will be the ultimate test of its remarkable economic resilience. Fun fact number 5, a nearly high-income economy. Malaysia has consistently shown strong economic growth, averaging around 6.5% per year from 1957 to 2005. Peak performance. Economic performance was especially strong in the early 1980s through the mid-1990s, with average annual growth reaching almost 8%. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos of economics and much more. And be on the lookout for new videos being released every week.